How's it going, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone inside and outside of those parameters? It is I, Shayne, and I am here with a review for you. And the review is for the new anime, Sakamoto Days. That's right. And it's episode 1, Legendary Hitman. Before I go even further, be a legend in your own right and hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, pardon me, to see more reviews like this. And if you want to support me even further, that's even more legendary. My Patreon link is in the description below. Go ahead and hit it like a hitman. Man, guys, so I say this with no hyperbole. This actually might be the best anime of 2025 already. Not even new, not new, just the best already. Just the vibes of this show is so great. It is an excellent mix of comedy, action. You get the warm, fuzzy feelings inside as well. Actually, funny enough, this is right here beside me. It gives Spy Family vibes, which is also funny because the theme song, which I believe theme song is just called Sakamoto Days. I gotta look that up again. It's done by Vondi. Vondi has also, I gotta pull up his resume. Vondi's also done theme for Spy Family. It was a collaboration with Koi Wong. I believe the name of that was called Finishing Strike. I don't remember the Japanese name of it. Todome no Ichigeki, but Finishing Strike. He also did one of the ending songs for Chainsaw Man, which was called dang it, let me just look that up real quick. They want an ending songs for Chainsaw Man. I can't remember. Oh, Chainsaw Blood. He did the Doraemon theme songs as well. He's done a lot of anime theme songs already. He a young guy too. He's doing some good intros. This song has all of it, and you instantly, if you haven't heard him from the other stuff, but you definitely have heard him from the Spy Family ending. Really good. Excuse me. This show is about Sakamoto Taro. He was the legendary hitman. As a matter of fact, I had to write this down here. He's feared by every gangster, but admired by every hitman. Dude is on fire. Like, he is amazing. White hair, glasses. As a matter of fact, the few times when you see his eyes in the past, and even in the show, but in the past, it's obscured for comedic effect because he wears round glasses. For comedic effect, for some reason his glasses always break, like crack around the side when he's shocked or when something striking happens to him. Flashbacks are done in muted color. I like it. It's less black and white, more of like brown and white, but that you can see like normal color in there. But I like the distinction between it because if you're not, say I watch these things sub, not dub, but let's say when the dub comes out, because I know Bang Zoom does the voice acting for this, because I read the credits. I always watch credits. When that comes out and you're just kind of like not paying attention to it, when you look up, you can tell what is a flashback and what is like current time. If you're paying attention, a lot of people still don't pay attention to things even when it's right in front of them, but we're not going to get into that, right? The art style, because I got to go over all this. This is like this was really, really good first outing. The guns, swords, and later on in this episode, the trees, like there's several. The art style is so interesting because certain things look real. Like the gun looks as if you just took a picture of a gun and just threw it in here, right? I don't know if it's like the type of, if it's, who else did something like this? Penny Stocking in their first season did something like this on one of their episodes, but it's almost as if they photocopied it and you just drew or maybe traced it in there or just put it in there. I don't know how, but it was so striking that in that opening scene, I paid attention to it. It has to be a unique art style choice, which I'm all for. Who else did a style like that? There was another show. It might be Penny Stocking, but it was a show where like the patterns. It was a cartoon. It was Chowder. Chowder does that with their it reminds me of Chowder, because if you've watched the Cartoon Network show Chowder, it's like Chowder's clothing, the pattern on it is a real pattern, but when the characters move, the pattern just stays in place and the characters are moving around it. That's what it reminds me of, except the guns are actually moving and the swords and stuff are actually moving. So first episode, what's the first episode plot? Music, by the way. Music is amazing. Music is great. I don't think it was in here. I know in the next episode there's a Sakamoto rap, like when it reminds me of, what's the show I just saw? Not with Spy Family, but there was a show where Mashal, reminds me of Mashal, where just rap music just appears almost out of nowhere when the main character is doing some cool shit, and that happens here. Just music is great, sound is great. First episode plot is basically Shin, who used to work under Sakamoto, coming to bring him back. He's like, man, you were amazing, you were the greatest, just come on back, bro. Sakamoto, since I didn't fully get into it, after the flashback, he meets a young lady who works at a convenience store, konbini as they say in Japan, falls in love, marries her, retires, has a kid, and he is fat. He is now fat. First of all, I'm giving a round of applause because we get a cool ass fat character. We don't get those a lot. And I can hear somebody in the back going, Choji. Look, man, Choji was cool. He wasn't the man. He didn't get shine. He was a nice side character. Much how Neji is a side character, right? Much how who's another big boy character? We don't get a lot of fat characters that are cool. I instantly think of like Booker or Butcher, if that's how you're gonna say it, but Booker from Air Gear, a main character who is very large. What's another one? We don't get too many of these. I think of one of Squad Zero from Bleach, but she has a thing where, she's big in calorie form, then she loses the calories and she's small. You don't get a lot. And this guy is funny and cool. He is. I need more characters like Sakamoto. Although some people don't. I've already seen I hate to call it Discord, but I've seen one or two complaints, or at least one, where someone doesn't like him because he is decently silent. When he does speak out loud, it is kind of a profound emotional moment. And a lot of his thoughts come from his head because Shin is an Esper, psychic, if you want to be English about it, because the translation says psychic. I heard him say Esper. It's Esper, right? Which is the same thing as a psychic. Kind of like a Mob Psycho, right? But he's psychic, so he reads minds. And so a lot of the voice acting is coming from thoughts inside his head. Like he doesn't really, you don't really see his mouth. You see that mustache, but you don't really see his mouth open much. A lot of the speaking's coming from his head. So Shin wants to bring him back. And even though he's fat, he's still fast as hell. Like, he cuts a gun, the muzzle of two guns in half with like a knife blade thing he has. He cuts a cigarette. He cuts Shin's cigarette before he smokes it. I think he did it with a chopstick because he was eating cup ramen. By the way, I get product placement in Japan is no issue. Cup ramen is in here. A couple other. I wrote down there was another one in there. It's in the second episode, but I'll scroll through my notes for that later. We're talking about episode 1. Shin's just like, wow, he's fast. Is he thinking to himself, oh, I can kill you anytime I want to, even though he should be able to read his mind, but he can't read his mind. That's one of the interesting things about Sakamoto. He can, but he can't, especially when they have their little tussle. The tone is set for this episode in that opening scene with the killing, and I hate to call it outrageousness, but suspending your disbelief. You always wonder, where's the show sit, right? And that's why I say it has Spy Family vibes, because Spy Family, you go, okay, well, there's a psychic girl and there's the killer woman, and then you start seeing people do stuff that is far beyond that, like the Master of Disguise, perfectly disguises his voice and his face. The assassin lady is doing like shonen level flips, running up buildings, surviving falls. This dude's deflecting bullets with a sword, right? He deflected the trajectory of a bullet almost point blank in his face, like 5 feet away, with a gumball. It's not a cough drop. The translators say cough drop. There ain't no cough drop. That's a gumball. With a gumball, he took a rubber band and more gumballs, and was hitting them with such speed and precision. They were like bullets, while Shin was trying to hit him with the gun. And he's fast. He looks like he does kung fu, but he spin kicks, 1-inch punches. Sets the tone. Gotta believe some of it has the reality of this show is not super duper grounded, but it is fun. And unless you're a nitpicky person, you're not gonna nitpick this. You shouldn't. I had to find out the name of his wife and kid through the credits, although he says their name in the next episode. Is Aoi and it's Hana, both Sakamoto, right? There's some good gags. Like one gag, or the constant gag, is he's thinking of how to kill. Like it happens so fast, you think he actually killed Shin, because one, he's like palm thrust. He's like, stop thinking about how to kill me. Or when the little boy, he frequents the store and seems like he hangs out with the family, hangs out with his daughter. He accidentally spills his calligraphy ink on this guy's white pants, and before the guy could punch the kid, grips him. Which, interesting thing to know about Sakamoto, he is a fat man. He is a large man like myself, but dude's arms are freaking built. And I love that art choice. It was like, okay, you can tell he works and moves things around because he owns his own convenience store, mom and pop shop. But the muscles and all that stuff has not deteriorated on this man. The gag being, he was thinking, after grabbing the guy's arm, taking a pencil and shoving it through his trachea, but he didn't. He just thought it. What's another gag in here? Shin's unrelenting admiration for him when he's hitting his head on his car steering wheel and the car is physically moving back and forth like it's a lowrider, and you see a mom and son looking at it, and she think the gag is someone's inside, they're doing something they shouldn't be doing, and she covers the boy's face like, no, let's go, let's get out of here. Really good scene with Shin versus Sakamoto. It gives you the what's the word I'm looking for? It shows his skill level. Like, dude's beating you and he's not really using any weapons. So if he does use a weapon, how good is he? Well, knocked out Shin, and now Shin is woken up inside the apartment and it's time for dinner. Like, first of all, by the way, Hana, Sakamoto's daughter, I don't know what gene she got from him, but she looks like a carbon copy of Aoi, right? Of his wife. And when dude wakes up, they're ready to feed him. He's thinking like, oh, it's this poison. And initially he's thinking like, Sakamoto, you wasted, you're like wasting your talents here. Because he is literally the neighborhood handyman, for lack of better words. We have a moment where a guy comes up asking for a favor. He's like, oh, it's a civilian front just so he can ask for a hit job. No, the guy, the tree looks like a bonsai tree, but the giant Japanese pine, it's too big. The guy can't cut it. Sakamoto gets up there, easily cuts it down. This lady, which I like the realistic body proportions of these characters. Like, all the women aren't like super thin, or all the guys aren't like outrageously built. There's realistic proportions to humans in here. But the woman goes, hey, I can't feed. My daughter here in the stroller won't eat her veggies. And he's been out of the game for 5 years. So it's reasonable to believe that his daughter is either 4 or 5. I'm going to say 5. And he gets this little girl to eat her vegetables. 2 boys are crying because, oh, we only got 1 ball to play with. First of all, this man ripped the ball in half and then formed 2 balls from it. It looked like it was rubber. How are you? You see where I'm like, you got to suspend your disbelief for the gag because it's funny. But I need to roll down this really quick. Text phone, join him, blah, 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 blah. Shut up. Here we go. By the way, Shayne is built. Like, when he wakes up in his house and his shirt's off, I'm like, damn, is everyone who's like a hitman just like ridiculously shredded? But he understands why Sakamoto is not coming back, or why he quit. Which his wife made the food. By the way, I think she's the reason he's fat, because she asked Shayne, does he want extra rice, extra rice, or mega extra rice? And he's like, just give me a regular portion, please. That woman made that man fat and happy. And so he's thinking it's poison. He can withstand any poison. Eats it. And instantly just go, it's like, ooh my, which means delicious, ooh my. And he's just almost crying over this food. He's like, this feeling I have, I haven't felt like this on any job. And I get it. He wants to protect these everyday moments with his family. And he's feeding his daughter, which is adorable. I believe earlier in the episode, Shayne had mentioned, like, Sakamoto only ate field rations, which would explain why he was so thin. But now he is very, very fat with the waddle. He is chubby enough that when he turns his head, the double chin moves with him. Very well animated. So Shayne has to go back, and he tried to kill the guy he admired, because if he didn't, somebody else would try, because that's the rule in the gang. Hey, you can't get out the gang. You get out the gang, well, you got to get off the earth, that was a translation. It was really dumb when I read it, and I said, okay, I get what you're going for, but that was really dumb. So he goes back. He's going to atone for it, saying, I'll kill myself. This is my way of atoning for betraying someone I admire. And this way, y'all don't have to go after him. He can read minds. He reads the boss's mind. He's like, yeah, whatever. I don't care if you kill yourself. I'm still going after him. All right. I read your mind. Now I got to kill all of y'all. Which Shayne is good. He's just not as good as Sakamoto. Which Sakamoto had bugged his gun while he was knocked out, listening back at the shop. And that entire little convenience store he has, by the way, they live up top, which that's how most stores are, lives up top. Why is it a whole entire armory? Like, I'm talking shotguns, pistols, swords, explosive devices. But he goes and grabs a stun gun with a couple other things, because he shows up. Shayne's pretty decent now. He's decent. Reading minds when someone's close enough, taking them down. But when Sakamoto shows up, they're done, right? He is whooping ass with pencils. He's cutting folks up with, it looks like, baton knives. I told you, he sliced the muzzle of guns. He used the stun gun because he has to go non-lethal. Saves the day, wins. Flat out wins. And I like his nonverbal communication. First thing he did after the dinner, he pointed to a sign that said, "Thank you, come again, Sakamoto," to Shayne. And then Shin's going, all right, well, I did tell you I was going to leave town regardless of if I got you back or not. And he throws an apron at him and he says out loud, it's 800 yen a day and I pay for overtime. Now he has a new job, has a new purpose. I love the ending part where the kid there and kid's like, play with me, mister. He's like, I'll play with you after my shift. And he's like, man, is it really fun doing this job? He's like, it's better than my old job. What did you do? And Sakamoto thinks, if you tell him, I'll kill you. I was a cleaner. The ending song for this anime too has a 2008 feel. If anybody watched 2008 and you were not, if you were over the age of like 14 to where you can remember how 2008, because I was in college in 2008, so has a very 2008 feel to it. Very good. I'm putting both of those theme songs in the description down there. But this was great. I think the name of the ending is Cotton Candy, not cotton, Conton, Cotton Candy. This was really, really good. This is a 5 out of 5 from me. Just fun, very good mix of laughs, action, and heart. Like I mentioned earlier in the review, I'm recommending this. If you want to wait and binge it, sure. I say binge because this is what animes on Netflix get 12 episodes every season, right? I say binge the first 4, then you take a break. But you gotta watch this. This is great. 5 out of 5. There's nothing else I can say to add to this. So please let me know what you think if you've already seen it already. Have you read the manga? I remember seeing the solicits for this for the manga maybe 4 to 5 years ago. Same with Don. I like when Shonen Jump. It's just Shonen Jump. I think Shonen Jump of Japan, or who owns most of these things? Shueisha. I like when they put up the manga panels, or they put up the art and you just save the art and use it as wallpapers. Remember seeing the art for this, and I said, okay, this is a big guy, Sakamoto days. What, couldn't get a feel for what it is, and that's a good thing. I'm glad. I know next to nothing going into this show, and this is great. So let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Please do not forget to hit that like button. It helps me out tremendously. Also, subscribe if you will, and hit the notification bell so you'll be notified of more reviews like this one. I had a special one coming up on Friday because that's my birthday, and I'm gonna do and I call it old school style. Do something that I haven't done in a while, but you have to tune in to see that. Please, guys, take care of yourselves. Thank you for taking some time out to listen to me talk about Sakamoto days. Be good, be blessed. Wash your hands, drink some water. Be good to yourself, be good to others. Either way it goes, please don't be a jerk. There's enough jerks in the world already. Life is rough, it's tough, but we're going to make it through. As a matter of fact, you're going to make it through. Talk to someone if you're feeling depressed, you're feeling down and out and anxious about what's going on in your life, about what's going on in the world. I promise you, someone out there would rather talk to you today than to miss you and mourn you tomorrow. And if you want to help me out, my Patreon link is in the description below. Hit it, click it, donate what you want. I actually I got some tiers in there, affordable tiers, that if you give one, you might be able to suggest something for me to watch or review. Who knows? But you want to get in contact with me, social medias are down there as well. Send me a message, say hi, and I will get right to you. Just don't be a jerk and we'll be good. All right, guys. I gotta go because I gotta talk about episode 2. So you'll see that review up tomorrow. Until next time, guys, I'm Shayne. I'll see you soon. I gotta go.